Morning guys, Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training and Joker. I'm not going to show you anything, I'm just coming in for a yak session. Alright, so I just got a comment on one of my threads in regards to Bullett. And the person made a very insightful observation. And what he said was that dog is not, he's been trained, but he's living in the moment, and you got to constantly be interrupting him in his thought process constantly. Who wants to live with that kind of dog where you always got to be interrupting this dog's flow to keep control over him? And they're correct. The observation was a very good observation, but you have to understand, I'm not I Dream a Genie. I can't just go blink and poof, the dog has changed. Right? We start on behaviors, we start communication baseboard, we've got the dog now knows how to learn. All this stuff has been inputted for the first time he's with me. I usually do an in-kennel for 1 month at a time, 30 days, you're paying me for my time, and I very diligently work towards what we're trying to achieve with the dog at any one moment of the dog's life. Any behavioral things that have been caused by the owner, which is a lot. The way the dog thinks, how he flows in life has all been dictated by the owner up to the time that he got to me about a year old, right? Every dog is different. I keep saying that. Even within these doggos, I'm accenting all these accent points, and it's in relationship to Bullett and who he is as an individual. But it is breed related. It's, there's a lot of consistent correlations that'll happen within the breed that'll happen with the next dog I've got that's a Dogo Argentina. They're not all the same though, right? Genetics matter. We talk about that all the time. I mean, you remember Arrow, my Dutch Shepherd, very strong, very high energy outflow dog with drive that was through the roof. Well, that whole nature of that dog created a whole thing, but I get around Dutch Shepherds all the time. I just got done working with one at his home. The dog's a lot more soft. He's got a whole family of kids, 3 or 4 kids, the wife, people that are treating this dog a certain way that ends up causing that dog to mature and manifest into a different dog than my dogs were because of genetics. Okay, so that dog doesn't have the same bloodlines that my Dutch Shepherd Arrow did, right? But he's also in a different environment. And as a young dog with women around him, all the kids are a couple girls, and then the mom and all the in-laws, and a lot of female type, oh, my little baby, my little snookum. And that causes the dog to end up maturing into a softer dog and a little foo-foo and neurotic behavior that's there because of how he gets treated. Right? It's all about how you treat the dog. So if you see me working with Bullett, you see me giving him hard pats. Come on, let's go. And being a lot tougher on him than maybe somebody might agree with. Oh my God, you got to give him cookies, you got to give him hot dogs. It's all about knowing what you're doing and developing that dog into being, because you got to remember something. I specialize in working dogs to be a man dog, right? In other words, take a man down. Right? Doesn't mean I want a vicious dog. Joker is one of the dog I can take anywhere with me. Buddy's the same way. And he's friendly with everybody. They're great dogs. But they know their job, right? And they've been accordingly molded, shaped, and formed in their mental attitude and how they approach life based on me as a trainer, right? Am I right? Am I wrong? No, I am who I am. I'm Mark Ferrasci, the dog trainer, and I'm pretty good at what I do, right? So it doesn't mean that I'm exactly always right, and that's why this trade is so bitchin', because there's so many things you can learn from, and other people's perspective, another trainer that might come that has little tricks in his bag and things that he does with his nature or her nature, their nature that's different than mine that I can pick up on, right? This trade is so cool because you can never stop learning and growing. It's constant. There's always something you can learn and grow from somebody else's approach, their perspectives, how they treat their trade, and where their brain goes when they're doing their craft, and then they're passing this information on. That's what I love. I'm like a vacuum cleaner. I love to soak it all in, right? So that assessment, that observation on the person's point of view when they gave that comment was totally right on. But it takes time to develop the dog, and maturity. That dog's going to change. And then we've got all kinds of factors. I call it the human factor, right? Dogs are a product of 2 things. I say it all the time: genetics and environment. who that dog is genetically, and then everything after that is all environment, how he's treated, and the person that had him before this. Bullett was a year old when I first got him in my hands, right? Now my job is to try to do the training I need to do and then mesh it into the owner and get them to help develop that dog into the finished product that we're going to do. This owner has said that they want to do bite work. They want to do protection with this dog. To do that, they've got to show me they're going to get off the couch and put the work in, especially with a stout breed like this, right? I'm not just going to go out there and do it because I like money. Sure, I want to make a living. I want to make a good living doing what I love to do, because you're paying me for my knowledge, the craft that I have available to you. But if you put the work in as part of my project, then I can mold and shape you with your dog and develop the two of you together. That's what's really going to make the difference. That's going to be what achieves the finished product, right? It's not just me. You know, I'm good at what I do, but I'm not like I said, I'm not I Dream a Genie. I blink and I can just get the job done, right? And there's so many factors that go into it. I'm evaluating the dog. I've got to evaluate the dog and the owner. I got to work with them and see how they interact with their dog. And are they willing to open their mind and learn and listen and get off the couch and put the work in to learn and grow, so the two of them, the dog and the owner, can grow as a team. That's why you hear us talking about it all the time. It's a team, right? And it really is. So that's my reaction to that. You know, they're not wrong. They're totally correct, right? And that's the nature of the beast as far as this dog. His hardwiring is all about hunting. All of his nose just goes, you know, he is who he is a genetic creature that's been bred to do a job and has a certain demeanor in life, right? So I appreciate your comment. Keep them coming. I love it. That's why I get to be able to stop and educate you a little bit, talk about this, so you think about these things, right? What is your perspective watching this video on the other side, right? Without all the bells and whistles and music and making yourself look all flashy and all that, right? I don't live in that world. I wish I did. I wish I had people around me, a film crew and all that. It's admirable. I admire them. I'm jealous of them, right? I'd love to be able to do that. Why do you think I whine about it so damn much? Right? I'm human, right? But one of the biggest things you learn as a dog trainer, it's one of the most honest things you will ever do, because you can't lie to you. You can't lie to the dog. You can't lie to somebody else. The work is evident right there. You know, you can't lie, right? It creates a very honest individual in myself, right? I'm a very honest individual, and so much so that a lot of times I don't have a filter. So I just right away, you know, you're hearing, you're seeing, it's the pure emotion that's coming from me in my job and working the dog, and then trying to educate you guys in what I do, right? And the internet hasn't picked up on enough. I've basically been what they call canceled culture, because I come at these kids so strong, and now most of them won't even talk to me, because they now know who I am. You know, reality and truth. Somebody that said the other day, oh, don't let them know you're training dogs, they'll shut you down right away. Not true. I've got my opinions. It's not that I don't want you to be a dog trainer. I want you to earn it and go out and work for it in the right way. Then I'll have all the respect for you in the world. There's a kid down the way down here that's shown me that he really wants to learn and grow. He doesn't have that instinct. He doesn't have that gut feeling with the dogs like I do and some other trainers do, but he's going to learn and grow. If he keeps going to the seminars, keeps working it, he's got a real young puppy, a Malinois right now, a Dutchie that he's going to develop. That's what's going to give him what he needs, learning and growing and doing it. The only thing I've got over him is I've got a few more years experience and thousands of dogs under my belt. I've worked about every breed you can possibly think of. That didn't come just poofta, you know what I'm saying? It came with a lot of years and a lot of touching dogs, you know, this dog, that dog, and seeing that chemistry between owner and dog, because it's not just the dog. The owner is the big part of it, right? So we're going to find out what this owner does. I'm going to try to push him towards the right direction, and if he doesn't give it to me, I'll shut down on him. I won't give him any work, right? He can go down the road, and he probably will, and it'll be an accident waiting to happen. Because if he doesn't develop his dog wrong, and he's got the wrong perspective and how he views this, right? Because his perspective is only what he sees in the videos, right? He only sees YouTube videos on TV, you know, the Wick movies with those Malinois, and then everybody goes crazy and wants to get a Malinois, but they don't understand that dog is a product of his training, you know, and the breeding and the genetics. Again, the dog is a product of two things. Can you repeat what it is? Genetics, who the dog is genetically, and environment. You are his environment. You learning and growing and have the right attitude, and what you do with that animal is the key to your success and or your failure, right? It's not just the dog, right? And I put myself out there the best I can for my customers. I push. My customer's only going to give me so much, right? And then I've got to figure out where that's at, where they're going to fall, right? So, all right, Mark Ferrasci, ProTech Dog Training, yakking at the screen is always about dogs. You guys have a good day. That was a good evaluation, sir. I appreciate your comment. Have a good day.